Oh, where did he go? Oh, I see.
I'm going up to the. I brought you
Okay,
down to the camp just to show you the spot where they had camped before they climbed the mountain.
okay, we
This
can
is
go.
the easiest way to get up this route.
So I always watch these every structures in a game as how they have been made, from how many polygons, and you know, these things like. And I can't say anything about this. This is amazing. The statues. There's
Well,
a,
this is not only amazing, but I think that you're bringing your personal experience to it, and you'll recognize that everyone who comes to play this game will have either a personal experience. They might be a Tolkien fan, or possibly they'll they'll just love the fighting games, this kind of game.
yeah,
Everyone
and
brings
MMOs. So
themselves to a game like this. This is a server where people play very much focused on the end game, all the big fights at the end of the playing quest line. However, there are two servers in the Lord of the Rings Online selection where only role players are on the server, and that they stay completely in their role, also in their text, unless they need to ask for people to join in a group quest or something. Then they'll go into what they call the OOC channel, the out of character channel. So there are so many different ways of playing a game like this, and so many different communities. Okay,
yes,
are we ready to go around the corner?
yes, and as we could
Okay.
see that there is only 45 minutes to the maintenance, so we
Yes.
we should hurry up. But it's okay, we're in time. And yes, the role playing. Oh my god, this is amazing.
You are now standing on the top of Weathertop, and as you can see, it's scorched. It's burned here.
Yes, what happened here? Why is this scorched? Acey, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I thought that it was time for you to say something. So Gandalf was up here, and it was nighttime. He was fighting the ring wraiths, and he managed to disperse them. They left, luckily, before Strider and Frodo and Merry and Pippin arrived here. And Gandalf carved a rune with a G in it to let people know that he'd been here. And that is something that Strider found the next day, so he knew that Gandalf was at least close.
Was it this
Close
stone?
to this area. It's the stone is here. You can see it.
Yes, it has rooms on that. I can't say,
Yes,
but maybe
Gandalf carved those.
these are elvish rooms, or I don't know.
Slytherin, probably.
I'm not.
You do know that Tolkien, actually being a professor of languages, actually created languages
I
for
know. I know it was amazing,
the book he
and
wrote.
in here at Hungary, there are lessons and courses about learning these languages. So there are
Oh my.
Elvish language lessons, and maybe something about the dwarfish runes. I don't know that well, but yes, they are teaching it here, and it can
That's
be amazing.
wonderful. Well, The Hobbit being published 70 years ago and still being on a bestsellers list, I mean, that that shows how much effect it's had. And I'm just thrilled that people are interested enough to make a game of it, and that other people are interested enough to play. In the small group of people that we have gathered in our kinship, there are actually 3 people who have had their children join the kinship. Obviously, the minimal age is 12, and it forms a bond between the parents and the children to be playing this game together. Um, and amazingly, the children are often better at it than the parents. I mean, they're being brought up in the computer age, aren't they?
Yes, and I forgot to say that Acey is our fearless leader in our kinship, the warlords of Angmar, and yes, she's an amazing leader. She's helping us a lot. Anyone needs help, or if she can help with materials to give to someone, she always helps. She gives
Well,
advices.
that is.
Yes,
Let's look at the view. Yes, that is something that I enjoy doing. It was strange, Amos. This is was 5.5 years ago, was my very first online role playing game, and I was encouraged to play it by a manager where in a company where I was working. And I thought, oh, it's a game, and oh, it's fighting, and oh, it's the Tolkien world, and I loved it from the beginning. What absolutely bowled me over was the feeling of community, how much people do for one another, and how much interaction and playing together is important. And I had not ever expected that.
yes, the communities, online communities are can be so amazing. I mean,
I
there
didn't know. I didn't know.
there are so many good people, and I just recognized it a year ago, and it's amazing. Also, we are looking down to the lowlands. Doesn't it remind you something?
Yes, it does indeed. Although I live in the Netherlands now, I was born and lived until I was 21 in California, and this countryside looks so much like the hills in California. The beautiful yellow buffalo grasses and the sparse trees, and sometimes, although it's only dawn here now, when that sun gets up there at noon, you can feel the heat, just like in the state I was born in.
So this is one of your favorite landscapes in Lotro.
Yes, I would say that this landscape is one of my favorites. I also love the landscape that you'll access when you get into about level 60. The forest shell way up in the north, with all the icebergs floating in the water and the northern lights in the skies, and of course different animals than here. When you're up there, you get animals that are quite different. Let me say goodbye to Teddy for a moment, and I'll show you, because I made a friend of one of them.
Bye, Teddy.
You
This
see, this animal lived up in Forest Shell, and now he's my friend.
Whoa. Yeah. These spies. Also, are there crows in Barrowlands too? I can't remember.
Well, the crows are actually there is a crow that you can make a friend of, but these are craven, and the craven have been actually defiled by the magics of Saruman, and they are used as spies, and it's really kind of terrifying that he can do that to animals.
Yes, and
As a lore master, I really dislike that.
I just thinking about Odin, if you are familiar with that. So he had crows as his spies, and
Oh, yeah.
this is the same. Oh, well, yes, it's important that what you are using your spies, good or evil.
I don't think that an animal is inherently good or evil. They're just a natural creature, but yeah.
But what are you using that?
Defiled,
So what are you using
my animal,
those?
you mean? I have an animal that I've tamed. Yes, of course. Just a moment.
Goodbye, Moonshine.
But as you see, it's not quite the same as the craven you see up here.
Let's take a closer look.
You see?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's reddish, a little brown.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
So her name is Garnet.
So her name is Garnet, yes. And if I really feel threatened, I can bring out the big cannons. Now this one's only half tame. I'd step back if I were you. Not too far back or you'll fall over the edge of Weathertop.
Okay, she is another lady, ornery.
Yeah. Now that is actually a fun side of the game too. Whether or not you're playing a role or whether your avatar is anything like you are in real life, you tend to work through a lot of your real life moods on the playing field, on the virtual playground here on Middle Earth. And sometimes, Amalith, I'm ornery.
Well, this is great, and she is a.
Thank you for forgiving me.
It's okay, and she's a black bear, kind of. Nice. Now I'm glowing.
Shall we go get the view out to the west now?
Yes. Also, of course, you have to deal with your own things in the game, and that's interesting. I'm a male, and I made a female character, so that is why, because I more like to view women in a game, of course, and she is a hobbit. As I said before, I like to play with small characters. In World of Warcraft, I played with gnomes.
Ah.